Tonight, we're tracking a cold case murder as police take another crack at finding a killer. It's a story with twists and turns. From a woman with few connections to the area to a cult called the Crusade of Love. Jane Jordan's children have lived the last 45 years not knowing who killed their mother. 11 Investigates takes a look at information never released to the public and why this case is so challenging to solve.
She was brutally murdered. The manner in which she was killed was violent.
It was October 1977.
I, Jimmy Carter, do solemnly swear that I
Jimmy
will
Carter
faithfully
was
execute
president.
Thousands of Elvis Presley fans streamed into Memphis today, hoping
Elvis Presley died, and 31-year-old Jane Jordan was living alone in an apartment on Key Street in Maumee.
Jane worked at Jeep. I believe she was a material handler. She lived at Lakeview Shores for a time. She was not a long-term resident. She did not have a lot of family in the area. She was raised by her aunt and uncle. Her parents died at a young age. She was from Indiana, the Huntington area, and was married in Indiana back in 1964. At some point, her and her husband moved here to Northwest Ohio, and they got a divorce in 1971. She had 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and they primarily lived with Dad at the time.
But that's where most of the information about who Jane Jordan was and who was in her life stops. And all that's left is in these documents about her murder.
On October 18th, 1977, a foreman at Jeep requested that one of the employees go check on Jane.
She hadn't been to work in about 3 days. That employee went to go check on her. Police reports show Jane's coworkers at Jeep, Raymond Luce and Robert Tilley, went to Jane's apartment. The door was unlocked and they found her dead.
They contacted police. It was reported to police that there was a suicide. Police responded, very quickly determined that it was in fact a murder.
Very clearly a murder. Jane was brutally stabbed to death in the bathtub, blood on the walls and in the toilet, a large stain on her bed just across the hall.
Somebody was exceptionally upset with her. That's what I'll say.
Tilley, one of those coworkers, is dead.
Hi Raymond, this is Melissa Andrews from
But 11 Investigates did speak to Raymond Luce. He refused to say anything except that he only went to check on Jane with her boyfriend he named as Robert Tilley. The report states Tilley told an officer he last saw Jane 5 days earlier when she left his apartment. Both Tilley and Luce were questioned and fingerprinted by police. Police will tell you most often investigations like these look at the people closest to the victim as the possible killer, but neither of these men was ever charged. It may surprise you all these years later who police want to talk to.
Hi, loves. Carlos Summer here, founder of the Crusade of Love for all of mankind. Our purpose is to move the world to love.
Carlo F. Summers' Crusade of Love commercial was in heavy rotation on Toledo TV in the 70s and 80s. He claimed to help thousands achieve a better life in every way with his Better Life principles.
I would characterize that as a quasi-religious, even a cult type of, it's been described to me as a cult.
Summer referred to himself as the Father. Followers referred to themselves as Carlo-lites. Maumee police say Jane Jordan, the woman with no nearby family, no connection to the area, was one of them.
She had a lot of contacts with those people, and that seemed to be her circle, so to speak.
And you can help to accomplish this goal for love.
I would be very interested in talking to them again.
By thinking, speaking and acting in friendly...
You spent a lot of time digging into this, looking over stuff that a lot of people haven't looked at for a long time. Even now, decades later, police are still looking to find somebody connected to this?
Yeah, Jeff, many of the original witnesses and investigators are dead, and so are the Carlo lights. But police want to talk to any who are living or children at the time who were also in the group. Also, anyone who lived in the apartments on Key Street back in 1977. DNA testing also wasn't available back then, but police tell me they've recently sent evidence for testing to the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation for DNA testing. If you know anything about the murder of Jane Jordan, call Maumee Police.